Viewer discretion is advised. My case this week is inspired by, obviously, because all of our cases are, my favorite film franchise. And, in fact, is about a film that threw caution to the wind while filming one of the most iconic car chase scenes in cinema history.
Oh.
I'm so fucking excited.
I knew you'd like this. So I will begin with a synopsis of the film in question. And yes, I am padding my case. And no, I have never seen this movie. For the next portion of my work here, I will be reading from Wikipedia.
Excellent.
The French Connection is a 1971, yes, I know you've seen it, American crime action thriller film directed by William Friedkin, and we'll get to William Friedkin.
He is incredible.
Friedkin.
He's also terrible.
Yes.
So, the screenplay, written by Ernest Tidyman, is based on Robin Moore's 1969 book of the same name, The French Connection. It tells the story of NYPD detectives Jimmy Popeye Doyle and Buddy Cloudy Russo, whose real-life counterparts were narcotics detectives Eddie Egan and Sonny Grosso, in pursuit of wealthy French heroin smuggler Alain Chonier.
Is this Gene Hackman?
Yes.
Whoa.
The film, my next sentence, stars Gene Hackman as Popeye.
Sorry.
The role he was born to play.
Roy Schneider, not Rob Schneider, as Cloudy.
Oh my God. How is there so much Rob Schneider in this episode?
Pauly Shore.
Pauly Shore.
Oh, Pauly Shore. Oh my God, those are different people. I always forget
barely.
They're barely different people. Yeah, barely. And Fernando Rey as Chonier. Tony LoBianco and Marcel Bozuffi also star.
Wow. What an all-star lineup.
A star-studded cast.
What a cast.
At the 44th Academy Awards, the film earned 8 nominations and won 5 for Best Picture, Best Actor, Gene Hackman, Best Director, Best Film Editing, Best Adapted Screenplay, and was nominated for Best Supporting Actor, Rob Schneider, Best Cinematography, and Best Sound Mixing.
This is a huge movie.
Yeah, it was a big deal. Tidyman also received a Golden Globe Award nomination, a Writers Guild of America Award, an Edgar Award for his screenplay, and a sequel, French Connection 2, followed in 1975, with Hackman and Ray reprising their roles. Considered one of the greatest films ever made, The French Connection appeared in the American Film Institute's list of the best American films in 1998 and again in 2007. And in 2005, the film was selected for preservation in the United States National Film Registry by the Library of Congress as being culturally, historically, or aesthetically significant.
The Library of Congress.
The Library of Congress. Gene Hackman.
Hackman.
You committed.
That was
and
good.
you saw it through.
I saw it through.
She's a friggin' actress,
I'm
you
a
guys, I tell
fucking
you.
professional.
Fucking shit. It sounded like you just spit so much.
I'm fine. William Friedkin also directed Friedkin, The Exorcist.
Yep.
And infamously had questionable methods for getting authentic reactions out of his actors.
He was a monster.
Yep. So on the set of The Exorcist, which was released 2 years after The French Connection, because chronological order in film is very important, as we already discussed earlier tonight, while reviewing both the chronological release order and the chronological storyline order of the Fast and Furious franchise.
Your brain is so fucking weird.
It's also amazing.
Yeah.
So
Wonderland.
he kept
Neurodivergent
yeah,
Wonderland.
absolutely. Friedkin kept actors on edge on set by having the props guy fire shotgun blanks at random to just keep people really, like during The Exorcist, like really stressed out all the time. He surprised his lead actor, the one who played the young priest. I need a young priest and an old priest. The guy who played the young priest. So Friedkin, excuse me, surprised him in the infamous like vomit scene by hitting him right in the face with the pea soup, which was not what was supposed to happen in rehearsal and in the script. It hits him like she like pukes on his shirt, like on his chest. But then in the first time they actually filmed that scene, cameras rolling, just out of the blue, just whacked him in the face. And that first take is the one they use because his genuine shock of all this puke in his face is real.
Yeah.
Yeah, there are some incredible examples of...
Like Alien!
Yep, they didn't know that friggin' chestburster was coming.
They had no idea.
I think that the shark in Jaws did a jump at somebody once where the actors...
I'm fine with that. It's this other stuff that...
I think that there's consent.
Yeah.
If there's consent on board, like when people go to a haunted house.
Right.
They
You're
know shit's
consenting
going to
being
jump out
scared.
at them.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
But, I mean, come on. Like, and like you said, he goes way too far.
He goes too far. He also on set slapped an actual priest, Father William O'Malley, who had a small role in this film. He slapped him right across the face to get a genuine reaction, like right before a take. Just fucking smacked him in the face. So he wouldn't get away with any of the shit now, but it was the 70s. There were no rules. Everyone's on pocket powder. Like, nobody gives a fuck.
Also, he was huge at this point.
Powder.
He had the biggest friggin' movie in the world 2 years ago.
He was in, he was
untouchable.
He was in, like, I mean, for other problematic people of the time, like, Coppola status.
Absolutely.
From these two movies.
Who, by the way, Coppola was the reason... or was the guy who kind of defended the pedophile from Jeepers Creepers.
Oh,
like,
I'm so shocked by that.
Helped him like get his career back on that. They were like he was really good friends with the family.
Yep.
Sorry, I don't.
Stop talking about the pedophile.
I'm sorry.
It all circles back. So he said in an interview with Mark Maron on the What the Fuck with Mark Maron podcast, shout out Mark Maron. We met him in Vancouver and he is amazing.
Genius.
That he used some harsh methods on the set of The French Connection as well, with the intention of getting genuine feelings and reactions from his cast. He said, quote, I found by treating Gene Hackman harshly, even cruelly, it would motivate his anger, because he's like a very angry cop in this movie.
God,
he didn't like authority. I know, right? He didn't like authority, and he didn't even like acting that much.
Holy shit.
End quote.
That's what you want from your director. Yeah, I took literally all of the joy of the craft away from him.
I was cruel to him.
No.
But his relentless search for authenticity in his filmmaking would go beyond just being an asshole and fucking with people on set and make its way out into the public when filming the infamous car chase scene in The French Connection. So Friedkin said in an interview with Deadline.com, quote, the chase scene was never in the script. I created that chase scene when the producer, Philip D'Antoni, we just spitballed ideas. So he and the producer just dreamed up this chase scene. We walked out of my apartment, headed south in Manhattan, and we just kept walking until we came up with that chase scene, letting the atmosphere of the city guide us. This guy sounds like a fucking douche, but whatever.
Yeah.
The steam coming off the street, the sound of the subway rumbling beneath our feet, the treacherous traffic on crowded streets. We didn't have a lot of time because Dick Zanuck, who had already turned down like once or twice before funding this movie, he's like the producer of this movie, told us that he would make the film for $1.5 million if they could get it done immediately because he's about to get fired and he wanted to get one more good project under his belt before he got fired. So this producer is like, you've got to make something incredible. You have no budget and make it fast. Like, figure it the fuck out.
He's on a short sale with his career.
Yeah,
really.
So Friedkin's like, okay. So they just walked around Manhattan and tried to figure out how they could like elevate like the movie quality of this movie with no budget.
And no time to plan.
And it was true. Like, the guy was about to get fired, and that actually is how they ended up with Gene Hackman, because he didn't even want to hire him. He's like, that's why we settled on Gene Hackman, who was not our first choice. They just ran out of time, so they had to go with Gene Hackman.
Dirty like
he won an Academy Award.
I know. Like, the universe is so fucking random.
Oh, it's so crazy.
Anyway, so he says, we walked 55 blocks and came up with a chase. No one ever asked to see a script. So they just have like no regulation, no oversight.
Oh my god.
So
how did no one get killed, or did they?
She's got a ways to go.
no one got killed, but I'm gonna play you. I'm gonna share my screen with you and play you just like the opening scene or like an opening couple frames of this chase scene, so you can get an idea of what we're fucking dealing with here.
It's
like how busy the
bananas.
street was.
I can't.
Okay, so this is just to set the tone. This is Gene Hackman. It's kind of an iconic part of New York. There's like that elevated train, and there's road underneath the train.
It's in so many movies.
So you can see, like, it's busy. Like, there's street lights. There's a ton of cars everywhere. Like, it's a legitimate...
Yeah.
Oh, my God. I almost got killed by Gene Hackman today.
Well, funny that you should say that. So, in this scene, Gene Hackman is, like, having an anger meltdown. This is like a cops and robbers movie. So he's been chasing this bad guy the whole movie, and it's kind of culminating in this, like, chase moment. The bad guy's on the train up above him, and he's trying to keep up with the train so he can like cut him off, basically. So the bad guy's on a New York City subway train. Gene Hackman is driving in this like ugly brown Pontiac Le Mans on the street below.
Just a moment for Pontiac Le Mans. What a great name for the car.
So
what
great.
do we call? We've got Panther, Cougar. What do we call this cool, sexy new car?
Le Mans.
Fucking Le Mans. I don't know.
Name it after me, the Le Mans.
A Le Mans.
Friedkin is literally the one filming the scenes where where it's the perspective of someone behind the driver in the car. So like
Amazing.
the director is in the back seat with a camera behind the stunt driver, a man named Bill Hickman. And the only reason that Friedkin was the one back there was because all the other cameramen had like wives and children, and this director knew that what he was going to do was so dangerous that he'd rather risk his own life in the car
and Gene Hackman's life.
And Gene Hackman's life. And the stunt driver's life. The stunt driver mostly. Than put these camera people on this job.
Jesus
so he fucking
Christ.
knew what he was doing.
Oh my God.
Yes. So he's sitting behind the stunt driver to get the like back of the behind the headshots. And Friedkin had been poking at and goading the stunt driver all week leading up to filming this scene to make sure, I guess, the back of this man's head emanated the same anger and frustration as Gene Hackman.
What is this?
So the veins were really bulging.
Yeah.
I need the back of his neck red.
Yeah, he's like, I want this energy to match, so I'm going to be a psychopath to you too all week as I put my life in your hands and you stunt drive this car with me in it.
That is ridiculous.
It's absurd. It's absurd. So this is a quote from slashfilm.com. Quote, the incensed driver slammed on the accelerator, running spotlights and driving up, or stoplights, excuse me, I'm high, and driving up to 90 miles per hour for over 25 blocks
Jesus Christ.
Manhattan, in New York.
And they weren't blocked off streets.
Oh, we'll get to that.
Holy shit.
Like Hackman's reckless cop character, Popeye Doyle, Friedkin was obsessed with getting what he wanted. In this case, a pseudo-realistic, documentary-like chase. To shoot the chase sequence, they had a siren mounted on the car. So literally just that one red light flashing. I don't even know if it made sound. It's like the one that Dwight Schrute uses to go through traffic. So they had that on the top of the car, and Friedkin had worked out the chase beforehand with his actors, including a woman pushing a baby carriage, like who was an actual actor. It's not a baby in the baby carriage. But the driver, Popeye, the character, has to almost hit her. He like narrowly misses her in the scene. And she was a staged actor. She was in on it. But he neglected to tell the stunt driver that a woman with a baby carriage was going to walk out in front of him.
Oh my
And so
God.
his dodge is also authentic. Like his, oh my God, there's a lady with a baby about to cross the road.
This
He didn't
director
know.
is a fucking psycho.
He's a psycho.
Jesus.
Friedkin was able to shoot some scenes on the overhead train that Popeye was chasing by bribing an official with $40,000 cash and a free ticket to Jamaica to take a vacation.
amazing. I do love guerrilla filmmaking like that. I do think that is incredible. Like when filmmakers are like, yeah, can I give you $200 and we can just shoot in the morgue tonight or like whatever. Like as long as you're not putting anybody's lives in danger.
Exactly.
But this
It'd be
is
one
like the
thing
worst
to just shoot from the train or whatever. It's another to be, and that's what we're about to get to. God. So the quote ends with saying, what he didn't have was a permit to shoot on the street, let alone endanger the lives of real motorists. So this isn't in Manhattan. This is in Brooklyn. But yes, real people. So this absolutely absurd stunt literally happened among civilians walking and driving in New York City with no official like traffic control. Other than a few off-duty cops and crew members managing the situation and like trying to keep people away. It was like 10 people maybe.
Jesus. For
this like very busy part of New York. The only thing they did to give folks a warning, I guess, in quotes, to get out of the way was by putting that red alarm light on top of it.
Toy siren.
Yeah.
Their toy light.
That may or may not have made a noise.
They like got at Spencer Gifts.
Yeah, and it would have definitely been audible over the train that was
above it. I mean, it's absurd. So one section of this area had been shut down. It was like maybe 5 blocks for them to use to film, and they had been given control over one of the traffic lights so that they could like sync it up with what's going on in the scene. And because it wasn't actually blocked off area, it did, that was a safe zone, right? But they continuously got footage outside of this zone where there was little to no traffic control at all. This whole thing was super illegal.
Oh my God.
And while miraculously no one was injured during filming, there were a ton of genuine near misses with both pedestrians and other drivers. And a genuine car crash did occur between the stunt driver in the Pontiac and a civilian in a white Ford with no fucking clue a movie was being filmed.
Oh my God.
This poor bastard was on his way to work and just ended up in the wrong place at the wrong time and got crashed into in this scene. And the crash was like pretty big. It was so dramatic that it actually was kept in the film. Incredible. And then the filmmaker paid for all the repairs to this guy's white Ford.
Hospital bills? Did he get hurt?
He didn't get hurt. I mean, he got rattled a little bit, but he did not need to go to the hospital. They just had to pay to repair his car.
Do you know if they paid him like for the use of the shit in the movie?
Oh,
I'm sure
the film probably not. Oh
probably
my God!
Not. I think they just paid. The only thing I read was that they paid all the bills to have his car repaired. That's it.
Wow.
So I'm gonna play that crash for you.
Okay.
I'm gonna reshare my video and play that crash for you because I was like, oh, fender bender, that's so funny. They kept it in the scene. No. And there are some photos of it on the drive. Like, it's a bad accident.
Oh my God.
And this was not only unpunished, but rewarded.
Oh yeah. Made it in the movie.
He won a bunch of Academy Awards for this.
He won Best Director or some shit.
For this one also? Because that was for the first one.
No, those are the awards he had won for this movie, The French Connection. All those awards that I read you.
Oh, I thought you said The French Connection too. I thought that's what we were talking about.
No. This for this one. Oh,
Hi,
there's
kitty
Clancy,
cat.
the cutest.
Hi,
okay, so
Look, watch The French Connection.
This is the crash.
Oh my God.
That's real.
Holy crap.
I will play it one more time.
Yeah.
Oops. Okay, here we go.
Oh my God.
Holy crap.
Yeah.
And Friedkin was like so happy about that.
He was just coming in the back seat.
He had such a boner.
Yeah.
He was like, yes.
This is
Friedkin
amazing.
looked amazing and I didn't have to pay for it.
Well, he did, but
I mean, just the like.
yeah, just the repairs.
Yeah.
So, roadandtrack.com points out that, quote, filming the scene this way was astoundingly reckless, especially in the days of no crumple zones, metal dashboards, and minimal seatbelts. This is the early 70s.
Yeah.
Which I had to put in here,
metal
Robbie.
dashboards.
Yeah. Do you remember, Robbie, when we played that internet meme game where you Google the year you were born and the words car seat and see what comes up?
Oh, it's just metal, just a metal cage.
It's terrifying.
I'm looking at the one for me right now.
It's so good.
There are literally just metal bars that go across the front and a metal chunk that goes between the legs of the baby. Yeah.
So it's like a carnival ride.
Yeah.
Seat.
It's a carnival ride seat. So that's like basically the caliber of car we were driving when that. I mean, you saw it. That's like a big fucking accident.
Yeah.
This one looks like Ed Gein made it. Like, this is just leather and metal.
Oh, yeah. You got to play this car seat game. It's so insane.
It is funny. It is funny.
So the quote continues saying, and that's to say nothing of the pedestrians. With the perspective of time, the filmmakers now seem to grasp that fact, though some renegade swagger still shows through in the retelling of the tale.
Mm-hmm. It's all fun and games when nobody got hurt and you won Academy Awards.
Yeah.
Right, exactly. And Friedkin did finally agree years later that, like, this was not a great move. He looked back on that time in his career and said, quote, I was like Captain Ahab pursuing the whale. I had a supreme confidence, a kind of sleepwalker's assurance. As successful as the film was, I wouldn't do that now. I had put people's lives in danger.
Yeah.
And needless to say, these tactics would never fly in modern filmmaking. Like, he never could get away with this now. And he candidly said to Mark Maron in their interview, quote, I don't boast about it. People's lives were in danger, including my own. And I frankly didn't give a damn. I didn't devalue human life. I just didn't think about it. Which, to me, I say, isn't that kind of the same thing?
Sure.
I don't devalue it. I just don't think about it at all.
Human life had no significance to me at all.
Well, that's bullshit, too, because surely there are people around him that were like,
this is a bad idea.
This. Yeah.
Yeah. But he finishes by saying, it was like, we're going to do this way, and there was nobody to resist me. So I think he's probably surrounded by yes men.
Psycho.
He's this, like, on-the-rise filmmaker and, you know, in the league of, at the time, Coppola was, like, a huge fucking deal.
Yep.
And
we've all been
who's going to say no to him?
We've all been part of artistic projects where, like, the vision is there and we all really want it to happen, but boy, is it not safe and or boy, is it like not going right, and you don't want to be the one who ruins it for everybody else. And that, peer pressure is very real. Like when I wanted to go on this podcast with my friends and then they were like, it's a Fast and Furious episode. And I'm like, oh.
But you already said you'd do it, so you can't back out.
Interestingly, you did get me to say that I would be super excited to do it. And
I'm not
then
a fucking idiot,
told
Robbie.
me that it was going to be a Cars and Speedy Stuff episode.
I'm not fucking stupid.
Well, I sure hope you liked that clip. If you did like that clip, make sure you are subscribing to our YouTube channel, leaving us a nice review, and joining us on Patreon for even more video content, audio content, salacious content all around. Come join us. Treat yourself.